Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the April 15th edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Hadley Heath. A speaker event in Bingham Hall didn't go quite as planned. Coming up, the details behind the uproar.
I'm Chris Neal. It's tax time and you only have a few hours left to meet the government's deadline.
In sports, we'll show you a UNC softball phenom who should be finishing her junior year in high school.
Weathercaster John Boyer will tell us if we'll see a sunny weekend.
All that and a guy who's stuck in the past and he loves it.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
It's like a scene straight out of the 1960s. Hello, I'm Elizabeth Edmonds.
And I'm Carly Swain. Start with a controversial speaker, add some protesters opposed to his point of view, and you get what our Hadley Heath calls an hour of mayhem in the central part of campus. Hadley joins us now live from the newsroom. And Hadley, the speaker was actually a candidate for president in the recent election, so people should be familiar with his platform.
Carly, some were familiar, but many were not supportive. The group Youth for Western Civilization invited the former congressman to speak about immigration. A protest group shut him down.
Shut it down! No racists in our town!
That's the sound of some disgruntled UNC students protesting a lecture from former Congressman Tom Tancredo, a Republican with a long-standing record opposed to illegal immigration. UNC Students for a Democratic Society passed out these flyers which read, "Join us in protest. Republican Tom Tancredo's anti-immigrant white supremacist views are not welcome here." Sophomore Patrick Toomey told us the protest wasn't just about immigration policy.
I think a lot of the people here are definitely very much in favor of immigration. I'm one of those people. But this really isn't about immigration. This is about multiculturalism and hate broadly.
These protesters spent the early evening at a diversity dance and making posters to counter Tancredo's lecture. By 6:30, it was time to march. The protesters made it to Bingham Hall and then made their way inside. University police and Chapel Hill police joined forces. They asked students to leave. When students didn't oblige, authorities called for backup. There was plenty of name-calling. Things got a little physical. And then mace cans came out. Senior Pierre Duncan says that although she doesn't agree with Tancredo's point of view, she still wanted to hear it.
You want somebody to listen to you and your views, and you don't shut somebody else up.
By 8 o'clock, the disappointed audience was clearing the auditorium. Protesters and police were outside, and things had pretty much returned to normal. On Wednesday afternoon, College Republicans Chairman John Ike told us the protesters' tenacity surprised him.
Shocked, basically. I don't want to say I don't expect something like this to happen, but you know, it's the first time I was actually part of something like this.
Chancellor Holden Thorpe addressed the issue this afternoon in an email to the campus community. In it, he said, "Mr. Tancredo was scheduled to speak about immigration. We expect protests about controversial subjects at Carolina. That's part of our culture. But we also pride ourselves on being a place where all points of view can be expressed and heard." And Carly, no one heard Tancredo's point of view.
Hadley, are these protesters facing any legal or honor court problems?
Chancellor Thorpe said the Department of Public Safety and the Division of Student Affairs are investigating.
That's Hadley Heath starting us off tonight live in the newsroom. Thanks, Hadley.
The thrill of being in Chapel Hill during a national championship celebration should be fun and safe. The Carolina Athletic Associations and students are seeking a solution to make future celebrations safer. In the aftermath of last week's 30,000-person party, 10 people were burned and 2 dozen injured. Chapel Hill Fire and Police Department chiefs stressed the dangers of lighting fires, climbing trees and poles, and alcohol. Students provided some ideas for the town and safety departments to take into consideration.
We need to be better partiers than any other school in the nation, but we need to do it in a way that's respectful of the sport and of the party. We need to do it in a way that serves our entire community.
Officials hope for another celebration 1 year from now. They just want it to be safe.
Do you have questions? Well, the mayor has answers about transportation, that is. This morning, Chapel Hill Mayor Kevin Foy met with locals at a downtown coffee shop for the first ever Coffee with the Mayor. Residents young and old ones were able to talk to Foy about regional transportation plans for the city. Some took notes, others shared coffee, and many asked questions. Foy says one of his biggest concerns is pedestrian safety, with traffic getting heavier every year. He thinks taking public transportation is one of the answers.
It's April 15th, and that means one thing: tax returns are due today. Chris Neal joins us in the studio with more. Chris?
Elizabeth, every year this day is a busy one. Lots of people trying to get their taxes done at the last minute. It's that time of year again. No, not springtime, tax time. Today is the federal income tax deadline. So if you haven't filed your taxes yet, you're almost out of time.
If there's anybody that needs to get theirs done, they better get them done quick. We've been really busy trying to keep up. We stay open to late hours and try and get them all done.
Professional tax associates have been crunching numbers all week, trying to get as many returns filed as possible. H&R Block employees say in the past week, their workload has increased tremendously.
It's certainly been much more crowded this week than any other week earlier, and more people are walking in ready to just get it done and get everything taken care of for another year.
Many tax service agencies and even some post offices will be open later than normal tonight to help accommodate last-minute filers. This has become typical as so many people wait until the deadline to file their taxes.
Well, I'm here to get my taxes done today. At the last minute, I had to take care of business and stuff, so.
I think this year's a little bit more hectic. People were waiting because they think they owe money, so they don't want to come in and get their taxes done.
Time is limited, but you can file your taxes online or mail them in by midnight. And if you absolutely can't make the deadline,
After that point, though, it'd be good to file an extension with the federal government, and then that buys you 6 more months, in which you can then file in October.
officials estimate millions of people nationwide still haven't filed their taxes, and they'll be scrambling to get it done tonight.
Well, Chris, are there any post offices here in Chapel Hill staying open late?
Unfortunately not, Elizabeth, but if you're willing to make the drive, the main post office in Raleigh will be open until midnight tonight.
Thanks, Chris. Chris Neal reporting from the studio.
Globalism is a major push here at UNC, and Monday night kicked off the Sounds of Globalism Festival at the FedEx Global Education Center. The main performer was Naji Halal, a Lebanese musician. He played many traditional instruments, including the oud, reek, and tabla. Halal emphasized how vital music is in understanding culture, especially in a world that's becoming more globalized daily. The event continued its Middle Eastern theme with a performance by UNC's Arab Dabka dance team. Iraqi sculptor and journalist Ahmed Fadam was also a guest speaker at the event. And Apple is finally flipping the switch on what the music industry calls the last best hope to turn around its rapidly declining fortunes. Apple has ended its practice of selling all songs for 99 cents and now offers 3 tiers of prices: 69 cents, 99 cents, and $1.29. In exchange for the ability to set prices, record labels agreed to sell all songs on iTunes without digital rights management technology. That enables iTunes users to freely share songs and transfer them onto any mobile device.
TV ads might be helping many African American women learn about a potentially life-saving vaccine.
That's right, and for some of them, it's the only way to find out about how to prevent cervical cancer.
Mrs. Johnson, good to see you again. This is Mike. You can trust him. He looks just like you.
I'll be sucking up to you in order to make you sign the loan.
So, here are your low monthly payments and interest rate as we promised. Here's where they triple. The rest of this is really just here so that we get your house when you can't pay us back.
Such a lovely house.
Predatory lenders are never this easy to spot. Call us and protect yourself with the facts.
Know where your change goes when you give it to panhandlers? The Real Change from Spare Change Initiative takes the money you give away and uses it to make a real change for the homeless population. So the next time you want to get rid of that extra weight in your pocket, find a can in any local establishment and help end homelessness in Chapel Hill.
I just dropped 32 pounds this year, and boy, do I feel better.
Drop it. See how good it feels.
A recent UNC study finds African American women are less likely than whites to know about a vaccine that could prevent cervical cancer. Researchers report that these women are most likely to learn about these vaccines through TV ads. Eli Van Noppen has more.
Gardasil is the only cervical cancer vaccine that helps protect against 4 types of HPV.
Human papillomavirus, or HPV, causes most cervical cancers. A recently introduced vaccine, Gardasil, blocks 2 strains of the virus that cause most of the cases.
Ask your doctor about Gardasil.
Mally Cates works at the student store at the School of Public Health. Just a year ago, she decided to vaccinate her 12-year-old daughter.
They had started advertising it on the TV, and by the time we got to the clinic, that's when they talked to us about it.
But UNC researcher Noel Brewer has reservations about these drug company ads.
Those are not unbiased sources of health information. At the same time, they've done a better job than we have in public health at getting the word out.
Gardasil. 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 You have the power to choose.
The ads also caught the attention of pharmacy grad student Amiki Yan. She worries about the effects they may have on girls.
They say that they're giving it especially for girls who might be sexually active or who is going to be sexually active. Well, with regards to my faith, I'm hoping and praying that my child is not going to be sexually active until she's married.
Well, some parents have expressed concern that if they got their daughter vaccinated against HPV, that would lead them to earlier or more sexual activity. That's never been shown to actually have happened.
That's a view about the HPV vaccine that makes sense to Mally Cates.
I didn't have no reservation about it.
Mally says she felt at ease after talking with her daughter's doctor, whom she contacted after seeing the Gardasil ads. In Chapel Hill, I'm Eli Van Noppen, Carolina Week.
As of July 2007, North Carolina law requires schools to provide information about HPV to parents of students starting in the 5th grade.
Orange County might be close to giving you a new option when you need to check into a hospital. UNC Healthcare submitted plans to the state today to build a 100-bed hospital in Hillsborough because UNC hospitals are running close to 90% capacity and might start closing the doors to new patients. The university plans to purchase land near Durham Technical Community College south of downtown, adding to capacity of existing facilities. Town and state officials will decide whether the economic influx outweighs the decreased property tax base because hospitals are tax exempt. And now we all know that too much soda can be bad for your teeth, but you might not want to quench your thirst with a sports drink either. Gatorade and Life Water are just a few of the popular sports drinks out there, but too much of this liquid could lead to erosive tooth wear. Sports drinks have a high acidic content and a lot of sugar. Both in excess can damage your tooth enamel and soften the dentine. Researchers are more worried about teens than adults because younger people consume a lot more sports drinks.
Have you ever seen fellow students updating their Facebook status in class? A study by a doctoral student at Ohio State University found that college students who use Facebook spend less time studying. Therefore, they have lower grade point averages than students who choose not to use the social networking site. 80% of Facebook users in the study say it doesn't have any impact on their academic performance. And let me tell you, Facebook might not affect your grades, but a sunny day definitely will.
Yeah, it sure will. And John Boyer's here to let us know if these lovely sunny days are going to stick around. But John, it was a little cold today too.
You're right, Carly. It was a little chilly. Today's high temperature was 63 degrees. That's 10 below our seasonal average. But you might want to call it the dog days of spring. There's the little fella. We'll see if he'll be able to run outside tomorrow. I've got a good forecast in store. Stick around.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle. The circle that helps this circle by recycling trash. We sort glass, plastic, separate cans, stack newspapers and magazines. Now, thanks to us, there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. This cereal box wants your Sunday paper. These paper clips, in a more daring life, a 56 convertible. The circle works like this. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from or packaged in recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. It looks like this. Make a mental note. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free shopping guide. Environmental Defense. Finding the ways that work.
Un día en el bosque las ratas jugaban. Fósforos que no es muy bueno.
Escucha Smokey antes de tratar.
Solo tú. No juegues con fósforos, no juegues con fuego. Fuego. No hay nada para tu pobre conejo asustado. A un pobre ratón sin casa en que vivir. Si un hermoso bosque es lo que deseas, no juegues con fósforos, no juegues con fuego.
Solo tú puedes prevenir los fuegos forestales.
¡Fuego!
Hey, welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm John Boyer. It's spring. I love spring, and it's going to feel even more like spring these next few days. We have a few sprinkles to get through tonight, and then it'll be clearing out and warming up over the next few days. So a wonderful weekend to look forward to. We start out with a look at the national satellite map. It shows that the cloud cover is mostly concentrated over West Virginia, Pennsylvania. They're seeing the rain. We zoom in to see a broader perspective of what's going on here in North Carolina. Little patches of sunshine, little patches of clouds. That's how it's been all day. Now the radar shows us where some rain is located right now. A few spotty showers in Granville, Vance, Franklin County. Also one in Harnett you can't see. They're moving generally to the southeast. A few lined up here in Virginia are going to be on their way for the next few hours, but I was driving over here and didn't even have to put my windshield wipers on. These are really light showers we're talking about, so you don't even have to change your plans. So the surface map shows us, actually it doesn't show us, more importantly, what's causing this. There's an upper level low, not a surface low, that's bringing this rain for the mid-Atlantic region, the clouds. Well, what's going to happen tonight is that it'll slowly weaken and move to the south. The trough will bring us some rain showers, and then by tomorrow morning, that starts to dissipate. Skies clear out. That system that was here with us yesterday brought the storms. That's moving offshore too. High pressure takes control. That's what's going to be in charge of our weather until at least Sunday and bring us warmer temperatures once we get on the backside of the high and its clockwise flow, bringing warm air out of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, it's pollen season. I suffer from the pollen. Here are my little tissues. Here's the duct tape I use to seal my room, seal the windows and doors. Not quite that extreme, but it is going to be extreme pollen counts tomorrow, 10.6 on a scale of 12. So most of the culprits are oak, birch, cedar, juniper. Got you there. Saturday also high pollen counts. Friday and Wednesday not so bad, moderately high pollen counts for those days. So limit your outdoor activities in the morning. That's when the trees are most active. Let's say you're headed to the beach. That's going to be a great place to be this weekend. Temperatures really warm. Maybe a threat for a thunderstorm on Sunday afternoon, but good waves, good wind conditions, especially if you're into the surfing. All right, tonight in Chapel Hill in the Triangle, you've got temperatures 44 degrees, a chance for showers generally throughout the night, a light northerly wind, generally not too bad. Then for the day on tomorrow, we heat up to 63. Still a little chilly for this time of year, but sunny. Winds gust out of the north at 15 miles an hour, and that's what's bringing our cold air in. Now the Carolina Week 4-day forecast shows us a warming trend on its way. 63 for Thursday, 70 all the way up to 75 on Saturday, and clear skies throughout the period. I chose Saturday as my pick day to do your outdoor activities despite the pollen. And then on Sunday, we've got temperature 72, a slight chance for storms and showers here in the Chapel Hill region as well. Watch out for that morning low of 38 on Friday morning. And see, what happens is when we have a high temperature, or rather a high pressure in control of our weather systems, it gets really clear at night. The radiational cooling allows those warm temperatures we build during the day to escape. So you might not want to put your winter coat away just yet.
No.
But overall, stuff to look forward to.
Hey, can I borrow your duct tape? Because I have a horrible pollen problem as well.
It's somehow getting into my room, I swear.
We'll see if we can fix that later, John. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, our very own Anoop Desai is continuing his quest to become the next American Idol. This week's contestants chose songs from their favorite Quentin Tarantino movies, and Anoop's rendition of Everything I Do It For You was a big hit with judges.
Pop songs and adding your soul to it. That's where you really stand out.
This show's results are on tonight at 9 on Fox. And even though we've got Anoop still competing for his championship, we're still reveling in our own basketball championship.
Definitely. Jason Kahn's here with the little idea of what's going on in sports. Now that basketball's over, what do we got to look forward to?
Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. Still, people are pulling for Anoop, but people are still jumping up and down for the basketball team, and we're going to explain that a little bit in sports. Coming up, the championship game was a big boom for Tar Heels merchandise sales. We'll tell you just how much you've been spending.
Hey, there are a lot of ways we can help our community. Spending our money in Orange County, whether it's filling up the car or shopping at local businesses, helps maintain our roads, improves our children's schools, and creates jobs. Spending your money locally helps us all in a big way. So remember, shop Orange first.
Okay, guys, time for takeoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Wow! Whoa, look at that! Is that Jupiter?
Hey kids, it's time to go to the planetarium.
Moorhead Planetarium, where dreams become reality.
These kids are in trouble. They're not getting high on drugs or stealing. If they were, you'd do something about it right now. But why is it almost half of all parents who suspect their child has a problem learning wait a year or more before getting help? Why? Kids with learning disabilities are smart. They just learn differently. Call now. The sooner you get help, the better the chance your kid has.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. Glad you can make it. I'm Jason Kahn. The fourth-ranked baseball team squared off against High Point last night at the Bosch. Jimmy Messer got the start for the Heels, and the Panthers hit him hard early. High Point scored 3 runs in the top of the first, including this one off Billy Mannion's double. But Carolina will respond, luckily, by scoring 4 runs of its own in the bottom of the first. Now here, the Heels take the 6-4 lead in the fourth off of Ben Bunting's shot up the middle. But High Point will rally in the 7th. Billy Alvino's bomb over Mike Cavassini in center field drove in 2 runs, and the Panthers would tack on 3 more in the 8th to take a 2-run lead. UNC failed to mount a comeback and dropped the ball in this one, 11-9. Tighter wallets haven't affected Tar Heel National Championship gear sales. That's the #1 question heard in UNC student stores in the past week. Tar Heels are enjoying their national championship, and everyone wants a piece. Managers at student stores report they sold $640,000 worth of merchandise so far, even with students away on a holiday weekend. The total in the day after the championship was $40,000 more, the same day after the 2005 championship. Now, most 17-year-olds are finishing up their junior year of high school this spring, as we would expect, but not the one Josh Revis is about to introduce to us.
Meet Constance Orr, a 17-year-old freshman in her first year on the Tar Heel softball team. Orr enrolled last fall at age 16. She skipped kindergarten and 2nd grade because she was ahead of her classmates academically. But when it came to sports, she never expected to be where she is right now.
I hated sports when I was growing up. Like, me and my dad used to fight over them all the time because he used to watch sports and I hated it.
It didn't take her long to learn how to like it, though. At Butler High School, Orr was a 3-time All-State performer, won 3 state championships, and was an All-American in her senior season. Despite all her accomplishments, Orr has kept a lighthearted attitude about sports.
I like to have fun. I don't like to be all serious because you can't have fun playing. I mean, you can't like be serious playing ball. Like, you won't be as good, so I try to loosen things up a little bit.
Her coach, Donna Papa, couldn't agree more. She says Orr's sense of humor has helped her quickly become a part of the team.
She's very silly. She likes to have fun, and she likes to cut up a lot. So, you know, she's fit in with the girls well.
Orr said the toughest part of her transition to college has been being away from her family. But you don't have to look far to find them on game day. Just listen for her uncle behind the plate. And he's right. The Heels are ranked 14th in the nation with an overall record of 37-7 with 9 regular season games remaining. and Constance Orr has been a big part of their success.
She's done a nice job, and I only see her getting better.
Papa says if you give her a couple more years, she'll make all-conference.
You know, she's a player that's going to do a lot of good things for us because she's very versatile. You know, she plays first base, she can pitch, and she can hit. So that gives you a lot of options.
Just think, she could do all those things by her 18th birthday. In Chapel Hill, I'm Josh Revis, Carolina Week.
And speaking of Constance and the Tar Heel softball team, they're in action today taking on Winthrop, actually right now. Here's some early highlights. Danielle Spalding started on the hill and watched in the top of the first as she mows down 1, 2, and 3 Eagles hitters. Now in the bottom half, Brianna Brown got things started with a shot up the middle, then Spalding helped herself out with a line drive that advanced Brown to third. Brown then scored the first run off of Whitney Allen's fielder's choice. And let's not forget we had a celebrity guest there too from our own coach, Sylvia Hatchell. And right now, updating you on Carolina softball, the Heels are up by a score of 3-0. I know it says 2-0 there, but we are actually up 3-0. We just scored a run as we speak. The game did start at 4 p.m. and we are in the second game of the doubleheader. We'll start at 6. So guys, the softball team, they're also taking on Virginia Tech this weekend. Our baseball team is taking on Miami. A lot of ACC action going on.
Lots of stuff to be looking forward to. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Thanks, Jason. You know, Carly, the Civil War ended nearly 150 years ago, but some people are still living in the past.
That's true. And coming up, these men will tell you why they're dressed for battle.
Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Sally's having some behavioral problems.
I guess that reward system isn't working.
Well, the timeouts weren't either.
Well, you're just too lenient.
Well, you're too strict.
No, you are.
Oh, you are.
Where can adults go for ideas when they feel as frustrated as kids? ConnectForKids.org, guidance for grown-ups.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Think you know American history? Well, some people learn by living it.
Jen Carpenter introduces us to history buffs who bring the past to the present.
The banjo sounds like it would have in 1865. Welcome to the Battle of Forks Road.
I get into it. When it comes down time to actually get out there and battle, I'm all about it.
Case and Ray's ancestors fought in the Civil War. Now, he does too.
Before, history was just a subject in school. Now I actually get to live it, and I feel history every day of my life.
This is the sort of studying Kaysen likes to do.
U.S. history is more important than almost anything. It tells how this nation came to be.
History needs to be passed on. We need to learn where we come from so that we know where we're going.
Richard Long is corporal of North Carolina's 13th Light Artillery Unit.
It's probably the most fun hobby anybody could have because old guys like me get to get out and play kid again.
I love to die. It's just really fun because you can express it in so many different ways.
Oh, no, Chaplain!
I mean, you could act like you die, hop up, go again, get shot in the leg, hop up, go again.
I hate a freaking Yankee.
It's fun.
Playing kid again and reenacting war. Sometimes the two become one.
You feel like you go back in time and you see what they really saw.
The experience of living outside in all kinds of weather, firing those kinds of weapons, it's given me a bigger appreciation for what those people went through.
Their appreciation for history has morphed into a display of it. And for what?
I just love to portray my history for the future generations so they can know what it's like.
For Kaysen, it's living history all over again. In Wilmington, I'm Jennifer Carpenter, Carolina Week.
Very cool.
Definitely. Well, thank you for watching.
Good night.